How do you lose 56,000 when you thought you hired professionals? People love hearing about my successful real estate deals, but those aren't the deals that made me a better investor. The ones that changed my life were the mistakes. Three decisions cost me over 70 grand, almost cost me a property, and completely changed how I invest today. I'm sharing because I don't want you to pay that same tuition I did. I own a rental property that needed work. Like many investors, I hired a property manager because I wanted someone else to handle the day-to-day headaches. They could recommend using their in-house contractor. Sounded convenient. One point of contact, one company, everything handled. Felt like an easy decision to me. It became one of the most expensive decisions I ever made. That one choice eventually cost me about $56,000. Not because construction is expensive, because I stopped verifying what was happening. When I finally realized what had happened, I was furious, not disappointed, not frustrated. I wanted revenge. I remember emailing them, telling them I'd come back from DC, take them to court, and pursue them for 3 times the damages. Looking back though, that email wasn't solving anything. I was reacting instead of fixing the problem. So what really stopped the bleeding? The next mistake was a little different. I hired a property manager who wasn't truly local. I assumed technology could replace proximity. I was wrong. More than 6 months went by without anyone properly checking the property. 6 months. Meanwhile, the city started setting violations, high grass, maintenance issues, problems that should have been caught early. Nobody was actually managing my investment. They were collecting a management fee. Those are two very different things. Had I continued trusting them, I probably would have lost another 6 figures. The city could have taken legal action. The property would have continued deteriorating. The tenant would have stayed even longer, and the costs would have kept climbing. Instead, I hired my own contractor, and within 2 weeks, violations stopped, city stopped sending notices, the problems started disappearing. Not because I found a miracle contractor, because I finally took control. Lesson almost cost me the house itself. I hired a broker who was incredibly tenant friendly. Sounds great until you're the investor. When the tenant starts falling behind on rent, nothing happened. No urgency, no clear process, no aggressive protection of my investment. Instead, the tenant continued living there while the property declined. Finally, I ordered an appraisal because the market was hot and I was considering selling. That's when I truly saw the condition of the property. It wasn't just disappointing, it was expensive. Eventually, the broker sent me a tenant's security deposit to help cover some of the damages. But by then, the real damage had already been done. The lesson wasn't the broker was a bad person. The lesson was I hired someone whose priorities didn't match mine. These losses created 3 permanent rules. Number 1, never use an in-house contractor because it's convenient. Get independent oversight, always. Number 2, your property manager has to be hyperlocal. If they can't physically go to your property quickly, they're not managing it, they're administrating it. And those are not the same thing. Rule number 3, the moment rent becomes late, show me the checklist. No excuses, no promises. Show me exactly what actions have already been taken. Systems beat personalities every single time. People sometimes think experienced investors never make mistakes. The truth is, we make very expensive ones. The difference is we build systems so we don't pay for them twice. Those 3 decisions cost me over 70 grand. They almost convinced me to sell because my investment stopped producing income and started draining cash every month. But I'm still investing, not because I ignored the losses, because I learned from them. I'm an open book. If sharing my biggest failures saves you from making the same ones, then maybe that $70,000 wasn't completely wasted. If you ever made an investing mistake that changed the way you do business, leave it in the comments. Someone else might avoid taking it because you were willing to share it.